Hotep, I am that I am. Some call me Heru, your modern monk, your cannabis fitness strategist. Back at it again here for you with another episode. Back at you, number 43. Entitlement consumers. Let's break that down a little bit. Entitlement consumers. That's what we're going to be discussing today. With episode 43 in the house. I want to welcome you here with the most, your host, the modern monk, back at it. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for you. Thank you for being a light, a beacon for me, an inspiration for me. Even though we got to be inspiration for ourselves. Therefore, thank you. Just keeping it pushing, keep on trucking. Take y'all back. But yeah, let's get back into it. If you haven't subscribed to this podcast yet, subscribe. Because we're bringing you, every week we got something hitting you hard. Every week we hitting you hard. Giving you a little something to think about. Something to boil, really get you boiling, to really start making moves for your future, but in your present, bettering yourself every day, bettering yourself daily. That's the whole point of this podcast. Can't express it enough. But one thing I can express is that these are thoughts, my thoughts of thinking, not just my thoughts, but all my thoughts that's been gathered over the years, the decades, from others as well. You feel me? So I appreciate you with your support. Subscribe now. Hit that subscriber button. And y'all on YouTube, if you're on YouTube, go subscribe to my channel. You are the gym. You are the gym with a U. A Y. You. A U. Literally. A U are the gym. Channel. I'll pop right on top. Because see, everybody's on top when you allow yourself to be on top. You feel me? That's the whole point. Build confidence. Have more confidence. Do the things you truly want to do. I mean, you attract certain people in your life. It's not a coincidence that you're meeting certain people. And sometimes you kind of, some people you don't need in your life, but you attract it anyway. You feel me? Regardless. Because you're resonating. Then you start resonating on a higher frequency. Uh-oh. That brother talking crazy talk now. But we're going to talk entitlement. Now, y'all know I usually start my podcast out by just defining. Let's get on the same page. Or let's get on the same same definition. Definition defined by Google. Defined by MSN or the only man, the only one in itself, Microsoft. In their organization or their thought patterns. Let's say it like that. Because that's all it is, Google and their thought patterns. Kind of like the news broadcast. We don't think that the news is going to be biased regardless. That's kind of like my news channel I'm building. Of course I'm going to be biased. It's going to be my viewpoint, right? When you think about it, everybody always talk about certain things about being balanced. Well, their viewpoint is this way, their viewpoint is that way. But I think it is a certain frequency that usually most people are on or really resonate or can see. You know what I'm saying? The foundational aspects of life, foundational aspects of what entitlement truly mean, And it's really three words. Enter, you, within you, title, a description, something that's actually twofold, really. Because we put titles on ourselves, right? Now that brother talking psychology. We put titles on ourselves. Then we allow others to put titles on us, stereotypes. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Especially black folks. Oh, you the way this. This is how you are because you do this. And I get that always, because I got dreads. I smoke weed, right? That's the bigger picture. Yeah, there's many brothers and sisters out there who got dreads but don't smoke weed or do any type of altercation to their minds. Because that's basically what you're doing. You're resonating on a higher frequency anyway with the cannabis. Some people can't handle it because it's not for all people. You know what I'm saying? But like the brother was saying earlier, everything comes from a seed. And if that seed is not nurtured right, obviously it's not going to do its functions, its primary functions. Certain things are meant to be. I mean, look at the woman, the womb, the flower, right? The placenta. That's the nation. The problem is the nation coming out there warring. Them babies coming out there warring. Think about this. Entitlement. We're going to break it down. We're going to go up into it. Define. This is defined by being. Entitlement. The fact of having a right to something. Full entitlement to fees and maintenance should be offered. That's just something they just giving you an example. Right. Claim, title, license, permission, disposition, privilege, liberty. That's a good one. The amount to which a person has a right, allowance, allocation, allotment, quota, ration, grant, limit. The belief that one is inherently deserving of privileges or special treatment. A government program that provides benefits to any individual meeting certain eligibility requirements. Okay, that's entitlement from the beautiful being. Okay, so let's go further. Let me read another description from our lovely Google. Let's see what Google have to say. And they pretty much have the same dialogue here, but I wanted to read what Wikipedia has brought out. They said, an entitlement is a provision made in accordance with the legal framework of society. Hence, framework of society. Typically, entitlements are based on concepts of principle, which are themselves based in concepts of social equality and enfranchisement. See, here we go. This is kind of interesting, and it's funny how these certain subject matters kind of come to me, even though I want to give a shout out to my sister Vicky for bringing that to tuition a couple weeks ago. But my point is, certain things are like right there in front of us. I mean, even with this entitlement issue, it really talks about this issue we just passed through, and I don't know if they're still rioting and looting because I don't follow the news, But this brings me to that mindset of entitlement. What are we entitled to? What have we allowed others to entitle us to? Ooh, that brother getting deep over here. But just think about it. These are things we don't really be thinking about, or we never put it and resonate on it because we're constantly living a life. We're living a life of somebody else's entitlement. Think about that. We just was talking about this earlier. Living a life of somebody else's entitlement. We fulfilling somebody. I'm making Home Depot rich. Or even though they're rich, but you know where I'm coming from. It's kind of interesting. And we don't really need the jobs. We just need each other's support. Entitlement. Now, let me go over here to consumer. Entitlement consumers. Now, we know it's a difference between producers and consumers, right? Now, we understand this. So we're going to talk about the consumer, literally, and what has happened over the years, what has happened over the progress years when you're talking customer service or that mindset. Customer service is not necessarily a service. It's a mindset. It's the mind of that particular consumer that's fulfilling a service that they actually need to fulfill, or some so-called need to fulfill. Because we have left our entitlement, our true entitlement of sovereignty or an autonomy. This brother getting back. See, brother always get back in circle. That's what I love about the speaking forum. Consumer, let's get into it. What consumer say? Defined by being at its finest, once again, a person who purchases goods and services for personal use. Purchaser, buyer, customer, shopper, user, end user, client, patron, the public. Ooh. A person or thing that eats or uses something. Okay, an organism that is derives the organic compounds and energy it needs from the consumption of other organisms and heterotrophy. Now, check this out. What's interesting about that, how we have used words, obviously they have phrased these words with these definitions, but it has multiple definitions, and then we end up having the all saying or the all collective colloquial consumer. Oh, you're a consumer, or you're a customer. You're a client. Think about it. It's all the same word, meaning it's the same word too when you resonate on it. It's the same word. Patriot, client, right? But how do we... It's a mindset of how we live in scarcity, right? This is basically what we're talking about. Entitlement consumers. Now, you're either producing or you consuming. And think about this. How are you doing more consuming or are you doing more producing? That's the key thing. I think this is something I'm producing. I'm producing content currently right now. And as you hear me speak, I produce currency or content, And in some cases, as more people are responding to this podcast show, I'm creating context. Well, I can't even say context and content, right? And it's a focused form, even though we are fitness, we are health, we are mental health, we are spiritual, we are finance. We're all of that, literally. But how do one connects them all instead of really departmentalizing them? Even though we can departmentalize by working on those skills, but let's put them all in one form. That's basically what I'm saying. Entitlement customer. Now think about this. You go to a particular store or venue or a service operating organization that you need their services. What type of mindset do you have? Oh, I'm going to get more. I'm going to get all I can. Or I'm just going to get what I need and think about my fellow man, even though you don't really think about your fellow man. But all I'm seeing is like hoarding. This is what I'm noticing with entitlement customers. And they think that is owed to them. Kind of like the stimulus checks, right? That money is not owed to us. That money is not ours. That money is the Fed's. They created it. It's their money. Think about it. Even with the supplementations, even with all this stuff that's going on around us, how are you looking at it? How are you approaching it? Are you looking at it as a customer or are you looking at it as a producer? Are you a producer or are you a consumer? That's what it comes down to. All that hoarding going on in your home. Think about this. We got stuff we don't even need. You might have needed for a little short period of time, but you can get rid of it now. You won't even miss it, believe it or not. Entitlement customers. Entitlement consumers. Think about this. Look, we got all these stores that's been around for years, few decades, going to the wayside. Bye-bye. What have they lost? Have they forgot they have to interact with people? Is that what's going on? The connection? But see, the connection has been I think we cut the cord in 2000 as far as customer service and all that other element. And it goes both ways. The stores lost their mind, the people lost their mind. And we both think we're entitled to certain things. I think we all entitled to respect. But you don't even get that in the stores anymore. They treat you like a child, but then you claim you're an adult, but you act like a child. Oh, this didn't work for me. Oh, the box is tore up. Can I get a discount? It's like, come on, people. And we're wondering why America's in the state she is. Or he is. Let's say he is, because he's been pretty aggressive. America is a man to the finest. Emotional man. That's what America is, an emotional man. He's got his hormones all screwed up. His gut health is all fucked up. That's what's going on with America. The mindset and everything. Think about it. The mindset and everything. Entitlement customers. How prepared are you? That's another question I want to ask you right now. Those of you who tuning in right now. Think about it. How prepared are you? Are you doing your due diligence? And you asking me, what is he talking about? I'm talking about when you go purchase your food, when you go shopping, going out for things that you know you don't need to be needing. It's not even needed. It's not even necessary. Think about it. Back in the 80s, I remember my parents, and I said this a few times, my parents went to the store. It was rare that they had to go to the store. Now you in the store all the time. I remember working retail in them earlier years, right? In the 90s, early 90s. The stores wasn't packed. We just had packed days, and the packed days be like the Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve or something like that. But that was rare. Now it's packed every day. Think about this. And it goes both ways. That's what I'm saying. It's going both ways. People think they're entitled to certain things. And then you want to complain about product being out or not, you're not being there. That's crazy. I never understood that. Life is not perfect, my fellow ladies and gents. Life is not perfect. And life don't give you home runs every year, every day. It give you some fouls. Building more character. Entitlement customers. So you asking me, why am I going off on... Look, life is about producing. Producing and consuming now. They got consuming in there pretty big now. That's basically, but my key element is how can you produce more? How can you create more value? That's what we're talking about here. Because this entitlement structure is really being annoying. And it's really defeating the purposes. Especially when you got these companies that actually are somewhat competitors getting bought out by their competitor. And then we're going, see, this is where they're going to be creating the robots. Literally, the people are going to be the robots. I'm not worried about no artificial intelligence. The people are already robots. We already artificial intelligence. You feel me? They don't even have to program you. You already programmed to go to the back door. Carter G. Woodson. You already programmed to do it. So you don't question nothing. You sit there and, oh yeah, it's okay. It's okay. And then you get enough people to think it's okay. Then they call it a statistic. Yeah, this is how many people been doing it. And we believe it. We fall into the trap once again. Entitlement customers. Entitlement consumers. A person, a group, or order, or orders, or uses of purchased goods, products, services, primary for personal, social, family, household, and similar needs not directly related to entrepreneurial or business activities, right? We consume, and this is what I love about it, because it's talking about the organism that derives from organic compounds. And we'll be talking about some of that alchemy, dropping some of that alchemy on you, slowly but surely. Because everything is alchemy. It's just, what is the mix? What is the mix? What do you mix with? We eating a lot of nasty compounds and all this preservative foods, and, I'm growing a garden finally. Plant some real seeds, plant some real nutrition, put my DNA within them. My structure, as my brother would say, Royale. Put that DNA structure to it. That code, as they say. They always talking about that code. You got the code too. You just got to put the code back in the realm. You got to put the code back in the realm. Hold on, give me 1 second. Just a little short break there. I'll play the little music. Yeah, but like I said, it's about opening your mind, opening your heart, opening your soul, and going deeper. Right? Alice in Wonderland. How far does a rabbit hole go? Another deep story. All these stories in front of us. Yeah, and Disney was on it. Disney was showing them. That's what, all these different allegories, metaphors, that's for you. That consumer, entitlement consumer. So this one's going to be a short one, but it's going to be a short, sweet one. I want you to start thinking. Just take some time. Take some time right now. Take 5 minutes and do some deep breathing. Then take another 5 minutes and do some deep thinking. Just close your eyes. Shut your eyes down. Get in a relaxed state. Seated, standing, however you want to look at it. And get 5 minutes of meditation in. And I'm going to leave you with that. Peace. I'm out. Share. Subscribe. Comment. I'm out. Much love to y'all. Thank you for tuning in. Peace.